नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, हम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू टाइम्स ड्राइव अड्डा, जिसमें आज हम बात करेंगे नए लॉन्च के बारे में। महिंद्रा ने अनाउंस किया है बोलेरो, नई बोलेरो नियो के तौर पर आ रही है। और आज इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में वी विल बी टॉकिंग टू मिस्टर विजय नाकरा, हु इज द सीईओ ऑटोमोटिव महिंद्रा एंड महिंद्रा। उनसे जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि आखिर कंपनी क्या सोच रही है, पुरानी बोलेरो का क्या होगा। इसके अलावा बहुत सारे जो हमारे दोस्त सवाल करते रहते हैं कि उनकी महिंद्रा गाड़ी कब आएगी, डिलीवरी कब जल्दी होगी नहीं होगी, तो हम सभी सवालों के जवाब हम आज लेने की कोशिश करेंगे। लेकिन पहले बिफोर वी स्टार्ट टॉकिंग, आपको बस रिक्वेस्ट, फटाफट सब्सक्राइब कीजिए चैनल को, बेल आइकन दबा दीजिए। नाउ let's invite Mr. Naka. So, thank you so much for taking that time for us, Vijay. First question, obviously, is Bolero Neo. We have lots of launches in store for us as far as Mahindra and Mahindra is concerned. But you're starting with Bolero Neo post the announcements. So, could you elaborate क्या उसमें हमें देखने को मिल रहा है, and what are the new things? Because Bolero is one of the best sellers.
True. So, Kranti, firstly, thank you so much for having me on your show. Pleasure to be with you. Before I get to the Neo, थोड़ा एक मैं ज़रा कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट करना चाहूँगा ऑन बोलेरो। जैसे कि आपने कहा, बोलेरो इज़ अ वेरी वेल रिस्पेक्टेड ब्रांड इन द इंडियन ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री. So Bolero has been around for 20 years, and it is the highest sold SUV in the country. 1.3 million, close to 1.3 million, 13 lakh के करीब happy customers of the Bolero. Continues to be हिंदुस्तान के top 10 selling SUVs में Bolero का नाम हमेशा रहा है, अभी भी है. तो our objective was that with the launch of Bolero Neo, Bolero and Bolero Neo put together help us increase volume, market share, and obviously continue to remain in the top 10 brands of SUVs in the country. सबसे पहले बोलेरो नियो के लॉन्च के बाद जो हमारी एग्जिस्टिंग बोलेरो है वो भी कंटिन्यू करेगी. तो इट विल बी बोलेरो एंड बोलेरो नियो. बोलेरो नियो हैज अ स्पेसिफिक रोल टू प्ले इन द बोलेरो SUV पोर्टफोलियो, और वो लार्जली इज ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. While Bolero has its strengths, there were many customers who decided that they wanted to buy, or they needed, their requirement, their aspirations was, while they wanted a tough, go anywhere, authentic SUV, which is what the Bolero is, they also wanted modernity, sophistication, technology, and trendy. So Bolero Neo is that perfect product which carries the strength of what Mahindra brand is in terms of tough, unmissable presence. And along with that, we've brought in sophistication, little bit of premiumness in the interiors, technology. So it's a perfect blend put together, which is what we get the Bolero Neo.
So,
and clearly we see that this is for the new age buyer, the new age buyer of Bharat, the new age buyer of modern India in the metro the metro urban India, and this is a perfect product that fits the need of both these customers.
Okay, so what are the additions? ऐसे कौन से changes? Because if you जैसा आपने खुद ही जवाब दिया, मैं उसको पूछने ही वाला था. I was about to ask you कि existing और Neo दोनों साथ में चलेंगे. So you've already answered that. So what are the changes? जो basic premise क्या होगा कि ऐसे कौन से differentiating factors हैं जिनकी वजह से दोनों को आप existing portfolio में रखेंगे?
तो for example, Bolero Neo में हम हमारी जो third generation chassis है, जो हमारी थार और जो स्कॉर्पियो में जाती है, that is the platform for the Bolero Neo. उस पे हमारी M-Hawk engine है, 100 horsepower वाली, 216 न्यूटन मीटर टॉर्क है उसमें. तो it's more powerful, it's more torquey. What we've also done is, इसमें Italian डिज़ाइनर जो हमारी महिंद्रा ग्रुप की कंपनी है, पिनिनफरीना, उन्होंने इसकी इंटीरियर्स डिज़ाइन की है. और इसके साथ हमने जो क्या किया है कि जो बोलेरो की जो टफ अनमिसेबल प्रेजेंस लुक जो है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल फ्लैट बॉनेट, हुडेड लाइट्स, वर्टिकल स्लॉट ग्रिल, रेक्टेंगुलर व्हील आर्चेस, ये जो सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बोलेरो की हैं, that we've ensured that we've brought into Bolero Neo so that while it has got a modern generation platform which has performance, we've also brought in the unmissable presence look of Bolero in terms of the characteristics of design to make it a more modern, trendy and cool Bolero.
तो इसमें आपको ऐसा क्यों लगा that this is like new gen Bolero now obviously जिस तरह से आपने कहा, so why did you feel कि existing Bolero को रखा जाए? Because as we have seen सभी segment में most of the customers are looking for newer, feature rich, sophisticated cars. So why did you feel that the existing Bolero needed to be there?
See, there is certain thing about the Bolero-ness which doesn't go away. और जब हमने TUV 300 भी लॉन्च की थी, उस टाइम पे भी हमने सोचा था कि that will replace the Bolero. बट जो हमारी Bolero को जो ऑथेंटिक जो लॉयलिस्ट कस्टमर्स हैं हमारे, जो बहुत ज़्यादा नंबर में आज भी हैं हिंदुस्तान में, there was a clear voice of what is the definition of Bolero for them, which is exactly जो मैंने आपको अभी डिज़ाइन लैंग्वेज में वो समझाया. और एक और चीज़ थी, ये मैंने आपके आपके जर्नलिस्ट भाइयों से भी पहले भी कहा है कि एक वीडियो था कई महीने पहले विच काफ़ी वायरल गया था कि पहाड़ों में शायद था कि वो कहीं घाट में कहीं था कि एक बोलेरो एक कोने पे खड़ा था एंड देयर वाज अ वेरी सीरियस फॉल फ्रॉम अ माउंटेन, और सामने से एक अर्थ मूवर इक्विपमेंट जो बैक होल लोडर आ रही थी, उसका कंट्रोल, इट हैड लॉस्ट कंट्रोल एंड इट केम एंड हिट द बोलेरो. नथिंग हैपेंड टू द बोलेरो, जस्ट थोड़ा सा हिल के वहीं रुक गया. सो दैट टफनेस ऑफ द शीट मेटल जो होती है ना, कि आप जब दरवाजे को दबाते हो या दरवाजा बंद करते हो, there is certain thing about the Bolero-ness which is the tough, sturdy, low cost of maintenance. So I think some of these things the customers were not willing to say कि नहीं ये Bolero नहीं है, तो some of those characteristics we needed to keep. दूसरी बात थी कि नॉर्मली जो SUV की एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक होती है वो कमांड सीटिंग वाली, उनको वो चाहिए था, बट एट द सेम टाइम एंट्री एग्जिट बोलेरो की बहुत आसानी से, जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि हम बोलेरो बहुत ज़्यादा बोलेरो हम भारत में बेचते हैं, वेदर सब कंट्री इंडिया, वहाँ पे फैमिलीज, विमेन, शादियों में गाड़ियाँ जाती हैं, दे ऑल वेयर साड़ीज, गेट इन गेट आउट. सो बोलेरो की एक वो खासियत है कि while it is tough and rugged, the entry and exit, so the approachability to the product is very high. So that is another thing that we needed to retain, and that's what we did with the Bolero. So that is why we believe that there is a certain segment that will continue to want the original Bolero. We will continue to keep that, and Bolero Neo will become the new modern face of Bolero going forward. And hence we believe कि Bolero SUV brand portfolio में दोनों के लिए जगह है.
Okay, so existing Bolero average number क्या कर रही है, and what do you hope with the new?
देखो, I think it's not right to comment on a number these days because of the pandemic and because of what we've gone through in terms of the pandemic and the supply chain issues. You can only sell what you can produce. Right. But it's largely been a very successful brand. As I've said, it's always been in the top 10. So it kind of depending on the seasonality and month, it ranges between 6,000 to 8,000-9,000. That's the kind of range.
And you hope it double ho jaye, or?
I will not comment on that. My view is that with the Bolero and the Neo put together, we will continue to be in the top 10 with a very strong number.
And you also mentioned जिस तरह से पैंडेमिक के टाइम से हम लोग गुजर रहे हैं, प्लस सप्लाई चेन एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज आपके लिए वो जरूर रहा है जहाँ तक वेटिंग पीरियड रहा है. सो व्हाट योर थॉट्स, अभी कौन से ऐसे नए मेजर्स आपके हिसाब से हैं, या where does your brand stand right now? अगर हम
I think Kranti, the issue is not just a Mahindra issue. It's a supply chain issue and largely it's more around semiconductors. जैसे कि आपने आजकल बहुत उसके बारे में चर्चा हो रही है, यहाँ तक कि उसे अब दुनिया का नया जियोपॉलिटिकल सब्जेक्ट कहा जा रहा है. तो ये थोड़ा मेरे हिसाब से ये शॉर्ट टर्म प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि ये 1 महीने 2 महीने 3 महीने में सॉल्व होगा. दिस इज अ स्लाइटली लॉन्गर चैलेंज दैट द ऑटो इंडस्ट्री विल कंटिन्यू टू फेस. और जिस तरह से चाहे आप फ्यूल इंजेक्शन सिस्टम ले लीजिए आज की तारीख में भारत स्टेज 6 के बाद, चाहे आप इंफोटेनमेंट सिस्टम ले लीजिए, जो द नंबर ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड इन द व्हीकल्स हैव गॉन अप. So I think this is going to be a challenge that will continue to be the biggest challenge for the automobile industry. और हम सिर्फ हमारी ब्रांड नहीं, बाकी दूसरे ब्रांड्स के लिए also it's a concern. But of course, as an organization, we are doing everything we need to with the existing suppliers, alternate sources. We are looking at all of that to solve the challenge. But the good thing coming back to is I think जैसे कि हमने फर्स्ट वेव पैंडेमिक के बाद जिस तरह से डिमांड वापस आया था, इस टाइम वेव 2 के बाद भी, now that by God's grace everything has started moving back to normal, we know that cases are much lower. We are already seeing the demand becoming very strong, and our even earlier and even now, even after the second wave, our topmost priority is first safety of our people, the people at our dealership. All of those protocols are being followed, whether it's in our plants or at the dealerships. So we are striking that balance between the two in terms of what we produce, what we take to the dealership, and what we can make available for sale. And demand continues to remain strong.
And any timeline you think that you're correct, because most of the manufacturers globally we are seeing the way they're struggling with chip shortage. But any timeline you have in your mind which you think by that time? Because why I'm asking this, I'll give you the context. Because many of our viewers are they generally write the common question is when do we get for example Thar. I mean that's one of the most sought after product these days in that segment, and that delivery period is basically bothering them. So any timeline we are looking at?
Difficult to answer, very difficult to answer, but I think we are trying to secure from a quarter to quarter basis in terms of what we can be rest assured in terms of the semiconductors that are available to meet the demand at the market.
And you also talk about the recovery. How do you see the market, Indian car market, if you compare it with the with first wave and second wave? How do you
it's bounced back as strong as was the case of the first wave. In the case of first wave, people largely felt कि वो 2-3 महीने की वजह से pent up demand थी, but I thought through the year we saw good demand, and likewise we are seeing it even now. And one needs to just put that in perspective, that if you see rural is doing well, monsoon is doing, we've got normal monsoons, the water table levels are normal, sowing of the crop has happened, crop of prices is very strong, government is putting a lot of focus on infrastructure development, the e-commerce business is booming. So if you look at all the kind of business and economic parameters of demand, they clearly show a signal that we believe that this demand is not a short pent-up demand. We believe this is sustainable and will continue.
Okay, and one question regarding SUV, because obviously Bolero and most of the products you have already announced, they are in the SUV category. Are you also thinking about sedans or other body shape? And also, if you could elaborate on your reading on this segment where Bolero is coming.
So firstly, let's talk about Bolero. Like I mentioned, Bolero is a very strong brand in Bharat. It's synonymous with Bharat. With Bolero Neo, with it being the new face, it will not only continue to have customers from the traditional strong Bolero markets, but I think we will also get good visibility and acceptability in the urban markets. So that particular segment, which is the authentic SUV looking for a robust design vehicle which can go everywhere, is a large segment, and we believe that it will continue to be. I also believe that not only there, not only that particular segment, but आप चाहे आज SUV की अगर हम बात करें तो जो सब 4 मीटर सेगमेंट है या जो क्रॉसओवर वाली सेगमेंट है, वो दोनों सेगमेंट भी अब काफ़ी बड़ी हैं and they are growing very fast. So I think the ratio proportion of SUVs in overall passenger vehicles will continue to be very, very strong. It's already crossed 45-50%. It's already over there, and we believe that it will continue to be that strong.
And no other body shape you have?
Yeah, look, you're saying from the industry perspective?
Brand perspective.
From M&M perspective?
Yes.
We've been saying that we want to be a differentiated, authentic SUV player, so our entire focus is going to be on that.
Okay, one last question
both in terms of IC engines as well as electric, both.
All right, and last question regarding the fuel ratio, as we saw ratio in favor of SUVs right now. Mostly we are seeing customers going for the petrol. SUV petrol versions. How do you see that market? What is your projection as far as petrol versus diesel engines are concerned?
I'll break the category into three parts. The typical sub 4 meter city SUVs, crossovers, or rather monocoque based. I won't even call them crossovers. They are more monocoque based sub 4 meter city SUVs. Clearly, the proportion of gasoline is significantly high today. In fact, I think it's more like 60-65% is now become gasoline. If you look at the crossover segment, which is more than 4 meters, 4 to 4.2 meters, that length, there diesel still continues to play a significant role, almost 50-55%. And as you go to the authentic chassis-based body-on-frame large SUVs, which is typically the Scorpio size SUV, या आप क्रेटा की बात कर लीजिए, या that size of SUVs की अगर आप बात करें, Crista, what I meant is Crista, that is still 99.99% diesel, and that's largely got to do with the distance to be traveled, the application where they're larger vehicles, they're heavier vehicles. They operate largely more on diesel because they require a certain level of torque. And the moment you try to do that with, the TGDI technology in gasoline, तो जो gasoline की जो price advantage हो जाती है वो चली जाती है, because then the cost of technology becomes expensive. So smaller city, less than 4 meter, will continue to be dominated by gasoline. The crossover mid-size 4 to 4.2 meter will have diesel that will continue to play a significant role. And large SUVs, I think even now for some time, diesel will be the dominant powertrain choice.
One last small question. If you talk about your ratio, M&M ratio, petrol versus diesel, what's the ratio right now?
I will again give it in three parts. So if you look at our sub 4 meter, which is largely where we've got XUV 300 and now Thar, on XUV 300, about 55% is now gasoline, which is in line with what the industry is. And on Thar, although it is an authentic, iconic SUV, जो पहले कभी gasoline में या automatic transmission के option में नहीं था market में, now 25% is gasoline. So that's where we are on the mix. And the good thing about M&M for us now in terms of powertrain, we've got M-Hawk, which is a well-proven diesel powertrain engine that we have, diesel engine. And on the gasoline side, with the 1.2 and 1.5 liter that we've now brought in on XUV 300 and Thar, the M Stallion engine, which is our gasoline range of engine, and we also have a 2 liter which will come in the future. We have a very strong portfolio of both diesel and gasoline in our stable.
Thank you so much, Vijay, and congratulations and good luck with your.
Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.
Hope to see you soon with the next big SUV.
Bilkul. Looking forward to meeting you soon again. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on your show.